Good morning. Happy Monday. Hey, this is Mock Draft Monday. Welcome to the Dynasty Football Key. Looking forward to another mock draft. Let's get into it. I've got a mock draft here based on just my big board of overall rookie talent. So, not necessarily based on draft capital. We've done a couple with draft capital mocked by big names in the industry, but today I'm just going to do it based on talent. This is a super flex mock. I've got some rankings for the 1 QB as well that I can put out here later. But to get started, Marvin Harrison Jr., he's been a great prospect. Really, really has been touted for quite some time and showed he was able to really overcome the change of quarterback this last season. We've got tape that really spans a full career for this guy. We've had a lot of top prospects like a Jamar Chase who missed a season. Even JSN, he had a final season where he barely got to play. Those are some of the number one wide receivers drafted in their classes. So Marvin Harrison really put together a full college profile and looks great. Really to be a top sure prospect in 1 QB or Superflex drafts. Now, the second pick here, of course, if you need quarterback, it makes sense to just go ahead and grab one. I don't mind taking Caleb Williams at the 101 or the 102 here. You can't really go wrong there if he ends up going 101 in the real NFL draft. It does seem like that's what's going to be the pick. We have to see what the Bears end up doing if they keep the pick, select Caleb Williams, or trade it to another team. They did that last season, so it's definitely in the cards, but they might want to reset the clock on the rookie contract that they've got with Justin Fields. So let's see what they do there. 103, I've got Malik Neighbors. When it comes to these receivers, he's one of the most athletic, and really with the quarterbacks, they need a receiver who can get open on their own and make the life easier for the quarterback. So I think no matter where he lands, he's going to be in a great position to help his quarterback succeed and help his team put some points on the board. After that, I've got the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels, put on a great performance this last season, elevated Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr., and really looked good this past season. And with the rushing threat that he's got, I think when we look in hindsight at this draft, Jaden Daniels could be much higher. Last season, Anthony Richardson was going in the 102 range, and that's the type of profile we're looking at here. I think when I hear about the injury concerns, Anthony Richardson definitely was injured as well, so that's a valid concern. How much can this type of player avoid contact? We saw Lamar deal with a lot of injuries. Eventually, it was able to put together a full season. You just never know if they're going to be able to, keep a healthy full season. But the games that they do play, those average points per game, that's all that really matters a lot of times. And I think Jaden Daniels can really help out a team, really break fantasy. We'll see. Drake Maye at the 105, I think this is a great pick as well. I mean, these quarterbacks here are all feeling very solidified in their ability to get high draft capital, a lot of opportunities to show what they've got, develop, and be successful. So even if they go to one of the teams that are really struggling right now, I think they'll have enough time to really come into their own and show what they can do and give the team time to build around them as well. Rome Odunze, we've got a lot of film on him, and he's shown that he can separate and get open and help his quarterback be successful as well. 107, Brock Bowers. This is a tight end who really has everything you need to be successful. He can block. He can give you run after the catch. He can help as a running threat out of the backfield. A lot of different dimensions of which he could fit into an offense, keep the defense guessing as to how they're going to use him. 108, I've got Brian Thomas Jr. Like the size. I like the size of a lot of players in this class, but he's really big, has good ability to just move in the open field. I like the combination of size and speed that he has. And a lot of the mocks from the plugged in NFL folks have had him increasing up these drafts higher and higher. So it's exciting to see what Brian Thomas really ends up landing. Troy Franklin, he's bounced around in a lot of these mocks, but I've felt for a long time that he's really good. I'll need the NFL draft to really push him down for me. I'm going to hold firm on him as long as I can as a first round wide receiver for us. At the 110, I've got to run the quarterbacks here because we don't know where they're going to land. We've seen in a lot of mocks each of the three of Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, and J.J. McCarthy going in the first round to different teams. Two of these quarterbacks were in the national title game. There's been a lot of attention on them throughout the season. Bo Nix has shown he's got a really good skill set. We've seen the least out of J.J. McCarthy. However, he's the youngest quarterback here and has a lot of potential to develop. And in Superflex, I'm definitely taking some of these quarterbacks. All right, so here we go in the next round. I go ahead and wait on doing the third round here. We'll go with Keon Coleman to start the second round. Just at this point, knowing there's going to be a lot of teams that are receiver needy, there's definitely some landing spots where Keon Coleman could really contribute. I see him going all over the mock drafts. One round, could be round two. We'll see. There's just so many teams that could use a player like him. All right, we're going to take our first running back here at the 202, Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks really did seem like the number one running back coming out, who is coming out this year. Just has the injury to the knee, so maybe he'll fall in some of these drafts if teams don't want to wait. With Dynasty, if a player is worth the wait, I'll take that chance. However, here at the 203, I can't blame anyone for taking Bucky Irving, pass-catching threat. I really like anyone who can catch 70 balls around there, plus or minus 10 catches per season. If you can pull that off in the NFL, you're going to have a really high floor. So I see the team giving him a shot, using him as a weapon out of the backfield and as a safety valve for the quarterbacks. Next, Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. Big body receiver, can be a threat in the end zone. Really showed a lot there as a weapon. So no problem taking him here. I do think these next two receivers have the ability to get drafted ahead of him due to speed. Devontae Walker and Xavier Worthy both are really fast, Worthy being the fastest. I picked Devontae Walker here at the 205 because he's just been a little bit more of a team lead receiver, more of a sure-handed receiver. At the 206, Xavier Worthy, not as sure-handed, however, has the best speed profile combo in this draft. So not going to be mad at anyone taking him. We're going to take another Texas Longhorn here at the 207, Jatavian Sanders. He ended up being the primary target for Texas in a lot of games because he did have sure hands. Didn't matter who was hitting him from where, he would hold on to that ball. Even had a better season his 2 seasons ago. There was just so many weapons that have been continuously added to that Texas team. So there's been a lot more competition. And even still, he's been one of their primary receivers. Okay. At the 208, we've got Trey Benson. Trey Benson, one of my favorite running backs in this class. I like what he's been able to do when just facing defenders in the open field, has really good contact balance and able to just keep running no matter who's hitting him and being able to show a lot of breakaway run plays. We'll see how that speed translates in the combine. Still like taking a shot on him. Braylon Allen at the 209. Big body player. The team really depended on him. And I think if a team takes him in on day 2, we got to get excited about this player. He's capable, and we're going to need some running backs here who don't want to reach. There are at least a couple of receivers I like here. It's just that the drop off the running back is pretty steep at certain points where until we have the draft capital, we're just not going to know. So I like taking Braylon Allen here, followed by Jalen Polk at the 210. Another Washington wide receiver, has some really good games that he's put up, shown he can play. Won't be a number 1 most likely, so we'll hope he can get into a role as maybe the number 3 and then work his way in as the number 2 in the maybe his sophomore season. Ladd McConkey, this is a player who has right alongside of Brock Bowers, shown he can be depended upon and help his team win and get open for his quarterbacks to help them be successful. So we would hope he could do that same thing in the NFL. And some of these mock drafts, he's been creeping up higher and higher. Malachi Corley, this is who I'll take here to end the second round at the 212. Got some speed, ability to win. Stat sheet isn't necessarily full for him. Just a lot of players on that team that gave him some competition. I still think he's a good player just from everything I've been seeing. Let's see if I can keep going here. We got about 15 minutes, so let's go ahead and do the third round here. 301, Blake Corum. He's definitely someone who could fit into a complementary backfield, be that goal line threat. Really good heart and ability to just keep driving, keep the feet moving to push the pile, even though he's got a little bit of a small stature. Ray Davis, really good all-around skill set, quality running back. I'm going on a running back run here because of just the need, but these are players I've been seeing this whole past season really be good for their team. So it's just going to come down to draft capital initially for where we rank them. I still think, regardless of where they land, there's potential for opportunity in year 1 if they're a backup, or year 2 if they end up taking over a backfield. Cody Schrader, really good running back as well. So I would put him in that same mold here at the 303. Xavier Legette, I've got him here more for upside. I like the size and the speed combination. Seems like he can get day 2 draft capital. Should be in a good position. And we are kind of, there's really a lot of receivers and running backs even beyond this third round. So it's going to be fun to see who we can get and help our teams with here. I think these 3 running backs I hit on in one of our other videos: Marshawn Lloyd, Audric Estime, Will Shipley at the 305, 6, and 7. I'd be happy to kind of take any of these guys. Shipley has been a known name for quite some time. Estime really put his name on the map this season, along with Marshawn Lloyd. Lloyd's got some speed. Estime's just got some all-around ability, along with Will Shipley. So they can contribute. It would definitely seem to be in a more of a split backfield, but that's totally okay. That's kind of the way that the NFL is headed these days. All right, at the 308, Jalen McMillan, also out of Washington. He showed he can play. I think I've had him ahead of some of these running backs. It's just hard at a certain point to pass on all of these guys. Still, this is a very talented wide receiver. I would say the same about Jacob Cowing. Maybe a little bit undersized, still has good hands, ability to get open for the quarterback. Ben Sinnott and Cade Stover, I've got as some other tight ends here. Not a super deep tight end class, but Ben Sinnott, he won the Loman Fullback of the Year award. He would go into the NFL as a tight end, but this was a quality player who can block for the quarterback. I think the NFL is going to really like him and get him onto a team to help Cade Stover as well. He was with Ohio State and did a good job there. I think he would have wanted to go back, but he ran out of eligibility. They really did try to get everyone to come back to that Ohio State team to try to contend for this 2024 national championship. But he's out of eligibility and coming into the NFL. So let's see what team he can help out. And finally, another running back, Jalen Wright. And that really rounds out the first 3 rounds, first 36 picks. We've got some big days coming up ahead of us here in the next couple of weeks. We got the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, and some other testing that's going to be happening in the combine here in the February timeframe. So looking forward to it. Really want to thank everyone for listening to the Dynasty Football Key, and have a great rest of your Monday.